Well, we had to push the bugger up the hill.
It doesn't reverse.
It doesn't reverse.
Well.
So us bugger lugs had to get out and push it up in reverse.
We drove all the way from here to Salisbury.
Yeah, Salisbury.
We got there, got to the venue, and it died outside the venue gates.
Tonight, I am joined by, well, look who I've got. It's Fonzy Company, Bristol's alt rock Americana band. Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask, obviously, we've got a crazy year at the moment. 2020 is a little bit nuts with COVID and everything. How have you been, getting on as a band? Because I can imagine, obviously, we're going to talk about the new releases in a minute, but you've got obviously new releases coming out, so you'll have had to record and put this together during this time. So how has it been in 2020 being a band?
It's different. It's all done online now. It's not really changed in the last 10 or so years. Everything's done online now.
Exactly.
So, gigs, of course they're the biggest priority. Everyone wants to play a good show and everyone wants a good time, but it's not been a huge, obviously it sucks not being able to play, but we've still, online, we're still, promoting, saying hello to people, still being as social as we can be in that aspect.
One thing that I'd say is massively positive from all this is throughout all this lockdown and all this crazy nonsense that's going on, we've the five of us have really looked after each other, and we've provided a really good backbone for each other. So I think it's something that's almost cemented us even further.
Sure.
Really nice.
Absolutely.
Friends forever.
So obviously new releases, you've got your brand new EP coming out on the 20th of November. It's called Is It Me? And it's going to be available on all platforms. Can you talk to us a little bit about the new music and the new release? Because I'm quite excited about this. So what are we going to do?
Oh, Is It Me? So we wrote the first EP. Well, I didn't actually know that Jed was going to be in the band until at this point when we first released the EP. I wrote a lot of that with Zack and Liv doing that. Once we'd done that, it was just good material to have out there, and then we had Jed and Sam join us full time shortly afterwards, and then that's been great because we've been able to write music together as a collection, which has been so phenomenal. Getting to write music with these guys is just such a fucking pleasure. It's awesome.
It's funny how quickly we gelled. I only joined the band December, January, so late last year, and then I think it was one of the first sessions we wrote the title track, Is It Me? It just kind of Fonzy was like, how about this riff? And straight away we just flew through it, wrote the song in a session kind of thing. Yeah, it was great.
So we get the title track came about, and then we just wanted. I was developing a story through the lyrics, or a kind of theme about the dangers of social media, about how we sort of take it for granted, how it's abused now, and you just kind of look around going, is it me, or is the world kind of just burning? Right. Well, when's the last time it wasn't burning?
It's always burning one way or another.
And just social media for me has always seemed to be a prime point in that, where, the cancel culture thing, for example, when someone tries to cancel something and someone will say, "Oh, people are outraged," and it's only about 5 motherfuckers maybe, but you always get the article that's going to make it look like thousands of people, and then that's where you get outraged. That's where all this anxiety comes from, and the whole EP is based around that, really.
A lot of bandwagoning,
and don't listen to social media. It's all a lie.
Do all of you remember the first artist that made you want to be musicians yourselves? And then taking that question, whoever you think of, how much have those influences had an impact on the new music that you've brought out?
Question. I'll let you start.
All right, so my first ones were Green Day and and Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had 2 albums in my CD player. And it's weird, like I've gone a whole lot of different ways since then. I've gotten into a lot of like reggae and dub and stuff. But coming back into this, it's really like I've harkened back onto that a lot. It feeds into what you said, like the question, like perfectly. I feel like I've gone straight back into what my original influences were. That kind of punchy lines and just kind of big melodic songs.
Sure.
I
mean, I was brought up like classically trained on the piano, so I think my grandparents were the ones saying that I would be the cultural one of the family, I guess. They basically ploughed me like when I was growing up with lots of classical music, a bit of my cold field as well. But then when I went to school, completely switched over, turned to a grebo emo kid, skater, I think. You're either a skater or a townie in school, one or the other. So so Green Day, Good Charlotte, Peppers, just like you. My dad was really into The Prodigy as well, so I listened to a lot of that. And then kind of grew from there, listened to a lot of Crystal Castles as well, and then like discovered a whole new different sort of music that I hadn't really heard of before. So my Spotify library makes no sense at all because it's just
you should listen to his playlists. His playlists are amazing.
Thankfully, like in this modern day and age, Jed and I listen to a lot of music together, like the same kind of stuff. I think one band that's always stuck with me the most is No Doubt. They will be my favorite band of all time. No Doubt, Gwen Stefani.
Coming from a background of my mum used to the weirdest Bee Gees, Huey Lewis, ELO, Madness. So it was a lot of 80s new wave as well. Then grew up that had developed into classic rock, the Motley Crues, Aerosmiths, Kick, Sticks, rap, whatever.
That explains your kind of vocal tone.
And then that developed into a kind of ska, third wave punk scene, third wave ska as well. I loved that so much. It just made me so happy as a kid. It still does today. I haven't grown up in the sense that with this band going into it musically, it's kind of, as these guys, a combination of literally all of these guys have said. Even if you can't directly hear it, there are certain parts you can pick up in the music. And you go, actually, I do hear that Crystal Castles. I do hear that Sticky Fingers riff. Like, there's just so many.
I didn't steal any Sticky Fingers. I promise.
But the big one is the punk, the third wave punk thing, as Zack saying, Good Charlotte, Chili's, Green Day. I know it's like generic to like say, oh yeah, we all like Blink, Offspring, and all that, because we're all in our 30s, late 20s, or whatever. Like that's what we grew up on.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, far from you, baby.
I think bringing everybody's influences together is pretty cool, and it definitely fits for all Americana rock. I know you've got genre after genre. I had this question written down for you, Fonzy, and you, Zack, because you are kind of multi-instrumentalists. I know that obviously, Fonzy, you sing, you can play guitar. Zack, you're a saxophonist, you can play keys. When you were growing up, what was the first love for you out of the two? Which one, did you always think, oh, maybe I'll pursue this? Or has it always been both?
It's kind of like, so I started piano when I was really young, when I was about 4 years old, something like that. So I've been playing piano for a really, really long time, and I did love it. And I always wanted to play guitar. But then when I had the opportunity to learn a different instrument, suddenly the saxophone just came into mind, and then the whole guitar learning thing flew out the window. I guess like between which one do I prefer, they both kind of have the cool levels, I guess. Like the saxophone's just really easy to improvise solos on and stuff, and just jump up and down a bit with it and go a little bit nuts. But the piano, because you've got like the harmony and the melody all at once, you can write like a lot more fuller songs. So it's really hard for me to pick one or the other. They both have their advantages for different purposes. So I can't really pick one. Not me.
Fair enough. My mum forced me to play the trumpet. I despised playing trumpet. Mate, I was a sporty kid, so I was like, captain in my rugby team, football team. So music didn't really interest me. Mum just did it as a kind of an extracurricular thing for me. Obviously, I discovered ska much later after I stopped playing trumpet years ago, which I've gutted now. But and then bass was actually my first instrument when I was 14. My mum got me a bass for Christmas and started jamming along to riffs, and that was my development into guitar. I can't play guitar as well as I think I should be able to by now. Definitely more of a rhythm player. I think, again, growing up on that classic rock, you hear like Eddie Van Halen, God rest, like shredding and just those sweep picks and everything. Like, I want to be able to do that, but just the rhythm of playing guitar, the songwriting aspect for me is just dominates everything I've ever wanted to do. I don't need to shred, you know.
It's very Pixies.
It's very, Pixies-esque. You know, the songwriting is the biggest influence for me, and if I can do that on a bass, if I can do that on a keyboard, trumpet, whatever, just as long as the songwriting's there.
I play bass.
Good answer.
Dad played bass, kind of. He'll see this and get annoyed at me. And then I learned guitar for a bit, but then I don't know. I've always seen myself as, I've always been the guy that kind of is like smoothing everything over, gelling people together, a bit of an idiot, a bit of a joker. You don't have to nod so thoroughly for that.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, it's perfect for me. I love being the center of the music, if not of attention. If I do sometimes steal the center of attention.
That's all right. Forgiven.
But yeah, no, I play bass. I love it. It's where I fit.
4 strings. That's amazing.
4 strings. I can play violin, kind of. That's only got 4 strings though. Not too much to get confused by.
It's more like you've got an instrumental band here, a bit more of a classical trumpet, sax, you know.
We're going to start the new mariachi project soon.
That's the next EP.
On a slash on the end of Fonzy Company. Right, you've got a new single coming out just prior to the release of the EP. It's on the 13th of November. Can you tell us what it's called and what we're expecting from this? Because I am going to mention some of the teasers of what we're expecting from the video in a second.
For sure. So it's called Hella Sweet. I think it's like when the full album gets released, it's like the 3rd track in, but it's 4th track in. Shows how well I know our own music, doesn't it? But yeah, so that's out on the 13th. So that's going to get released simultaneously with a new music video as well. And because of the limitations of people, because I normally shoot music videos, but we had to kind of like set everything up on the tripod, had a lovely producer with me called Nolly, who's not walking away from me.
This was around the lockdown as well. This was like when everyone was, so we're very limited on what we can do. Obviously 6 to a group.
We're allowed to see each other, but that was about it.
That's it. Yeah, pretty much. So they're both released on the 13th on all the streaming platforms as well, and at that day as well, people will be able to pre-order the full album as well if they want to buy it. Maybe we'll see.
I think Hella Sweet's probably it's the most punky kind of. It's the most kind of Green Day-esque.
Interesting.
Of the.
This is news to me.
It's I don't know. It's powerful. It's powerful. It's melodic.
And it's catchy.
It's catchy.
Yeah, it's really catchy.
It's all hell.
I think that like one particular song, like we love all the tracks in the EP coming up, but that one definitely, if we could pick one, represented like kind of the new things we were going for. So that became the single.
Nice. I mean, you have mentioned obviously online, you teased what's going to be expected in the video. Am I right in thinking that we're going to have circus tricks?
Yes.
Dog?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Not much more. What the hell are we going to be watching on the 13th of November, guys?
All sorts of stuff, and maybe a little bit of full frontal.
Male nudity.
I don't know who that was.
I have no idea either. Yeah, some idiot.
Oh, yeah.
What was the idea behind behind this video then? Because it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So who was the big thinker behind the video?
Yeah, I think I text you guys saying, I think I want to do this, only because it was just the simplest, stupidest idea. There's nothing really overly zealous about the ambition of a video. A lot of people have like great lighting, smoke machines, have a great like location. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have access to any of that at the time. And we just wanted that kind of approach where, we want people to see our personalities and who we are as people. I think that really, I like to think that comes out quite nicely.
Oh, it does, for sure.
Yeah, there's no flares, there's nothing crazy about it. It's just simple, good fun.
Yeah.
I think that just nice and raw.
Absolutely. It's kind of one of those less is more kind of situations where, it just shows like us as a band, like the joint personality we have together, as well as all of our little individual quirks. But we didn't want to do anything too over flashy about it because, as Adam said, like with the raw factor, it was very much that less is more kind of approach. And like looking back at it, it still makes us smile, and it was really good fun to shoot.
It was such a good day.
It was a really good fun day.
It was such a good day.
Has this really beautiful tour bus for us as well, which he bought off a friend, which he's which he's just hands-on customized himself. BT the tour bus, and she is like a beautiful work of art inside, like a bed and a fridge, fairy lights.
Yeah, it's the most perfect way. We went on a little bit of a tour before everything shut down, and it was brilliant because we'd have the 5 or my brother Finn would come along, and we'd have like the 6 of us in the back, just like chugging along. We've got the fridge there for beers if you want them as you go, or cold, fresh, non-alcoholic drinks. And yeah, it was just like you easily fit all the stuff in, and everyone there, and it would mean that we'd all turn up at the same time. We'd all have had like a lot of a chat beforehand and a bit of a pre-party kind of. It was great. Good vibes on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
I can't wait to get back to that.
Yeah, I mean, my question did have relevance because I was going to get to the bus, so thank you for addressing that. I saw the pictures. It looks like a house on wheels. It's very cool. Have you got any favourite memories from that tour bus, from places that you've been, anything that you can share that's not too explicit?
Oh, well, we had to push the bugger up the hill.
It doesn't reverse.
It doesn't reverse. So, us bugger lugs had to get out and push it up in reverse.
We drove all the way from here to Salisbury.
Yeah, Salisbury.
We got there, got to the venue, and it died outside the venue gates. Yeah. Literally,
oh my God.
It was the most embarrassing thing.
We had to get some lads out of a nearby car who helped us push it up there. Oh, it was embarrassing, but quite fun.
So you've all been immersed in music since a young age, and you've got obviously parents that are in bands or parents that have inspired you to play your instrument. What is it about the ever-changing music industry of today that has made you guys want to, make your own mark in it and become a band and put your own music out there together? And what is it about the music industry that you love?
I just can't get enough. Yeah, that's about it for me.
That's it. It's a hunger at the end of the day. Like it's when it's turning a passion into like almost like a career, and you just want it to work out so well as if like another job that you really love. And that, I think personally for me, and probably I speak for the rest of the band, it is a job, but it's one of those rare occasions where it's a job you love doing. So you just can't get enough of it.
On a separate note, as a band or individually, do you guys, I always like asking this question because sometimes it's really funny, sometimes we'll go, I don't know what to say. But do you guys have a motto, a saying, or a quote that you like to live your life by?
Fiddler.
Oh no! I knew this.
If it's wet, drink it.
If it's
wet, drink it.
I don't know.
Personally, fiddler. Fuck it, dude. Life's a risk.
I
I'll
love
take
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think that's a three-way agreement.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2020 is almost over. We're at the end of October. Can you let us know what Fonzy Company have got coming up, you know, into next year, for the rest of the year, aside from the releases? What can we expect to hear from you guys?
Cool. We have some 2021 plans.
It's a secret.
It's slowly in development. We are in sort. Expect maybe some more releases coming out sooner rather than later.
Nice.
Say that we're going to be coming at playing every show we can get our hands on, as I'm sure everyone.
Every
is.
other band will, yeah.
But we've got a few festivals that we were due to play this year that we'll be playing again next year. Definitely recommend. We've actually got a website coming out very soon.
Nice.
Pending this one.
Designer.
So, this guy. So yeah, keep an eye on that for some tour dates, because there's going to be a lot of them. I'm going to try and come full force and just try and have a great time and try and get rid of this bullshit year and let's move on.
Shake off the dust.
Shake it off.
And I mean, obviously, have you got, you know, alongside of that, a message that you'd like to send out to Fonzy and Company, fans, followers, lovers of your music? Have you got anything that you'd like to let them know?
You guys are phenomenal, because we're, as a small band, very small band, we've not been able to, we've had a couple of lineup changes. I wrote this EP out of our mate's bedroom, and the response that we had and the love we had when Jed and Sam and Liv came on board properly it's just been phenomenal. And to have grown that much in a year in comparison to like all the other bands I've been in, I've never felt that bond with you. So we're going to get all deep. That bond with these guys is incredible, and our fans who have helped and supported us, friends and family. It wouldn't be the same without you guys, and honestly, we will give you anything you want whenever you want, and we're here for you just as much as you're here for us. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
It's that ongoing support that, you know, our listeners and fans give to us, which gives us reason to keep going, especially with this really horrific, taxing year, which makes almost a lot of things nearly impossible to do. But having all this support really kind of like puts a light in the tunnel that things will get better, and we're going to keep doing it and keep delivering for our fans and listeners. We have fun. Maybe.
Just can't wait to see them again soon. See you all again soon.
See you very soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It will happen.
Awesome.
Hold on, it will happen.
I know.
Sorry.
Fingers crossed that you've got going on next year. I'm really excited to see the new video, and obviously I don't know if I'm telling anyone about the EP, and I love it. I think it's brilliant, so I'm excited for what other people think of it as well. But yeah, thank you so much for chatting to me this evening.
Thank you for chatting to us.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
Nice to see you all. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, lovely.
Thank you very
See you
much.
soon.
Imagine how I didn't even know you were.
I know, fucking banging. Look at that.